to Studio D on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. This is Sooner Sports Pad. Now here's your host, Annie Durbin.
Welcome to Sooner Sports Pad. I'm Annie Durbin, alongside my very attractive co-hosts, Courtney Boggs and Blakely Durham, and our very excited live studio audience. Guys, tell the people who's in there.
Yes, we've got the men from the Alpha Sig fraternity in there joining us.
We're also joined by competition team members from Fliptastic Gymnastics out of Lawton, Oklahoma.
All right.
And later on, we will be speaking to the gymnastics national champions.
And in Face Off, me and Courtney will discuss which gymnast had the best weekend.
We'll also take an inside look at one of OU's deepest traditions.
Well, history was made this weekend, and Oklahoma gets to add 2 more national championship trophies to its That's right. I repeat, both the men and women's gymnastics team took home a national title this weekend, and Oklahoma is now the first school in history to win a men and women's title in the same season. Let's start with the women. Their motto this year was to make it count, and that is just what they did. The women competed in Fort Worth, Texas, and brought home their second all-time trophy. The meet was close in the first rotation, but with a bit of Sooner magic, the women were able to rack up a high score on floor to slide past LSU. And moving on over to the men, they competed Saturday night in Columbus, Ohio, and capped off a second consecutive undefeated season and took the 10th NCAA championship. They made history by securing a 10-point victory over second-place Stanford and claimed their 4th set of back-to-back titles. But each team had some amazing moments this weekend. Courtney, give us a breakdown on the women's success.
Well, I have the privilege of actually attending the national championship, and let me tell you, the Fort Worth Convention Center was full of Sooner magic on Saturday night. OU started out on vaults where, believe it or not, they didn't have as strong of a showing as they would have liked. Some little steps and hops on the landings, but the highlight was AJ Jackson with her explosive Yurchenko 1.5, scoring a 9.9 for the Sooners. As they headed to uneven bars, stuck dismounts made all the difference. Chase Caps, Haley Skaman, standout freshman Nicole Lehrman, all nailing their routines for at least a 9.9 or higher on that event. As OU rotated to the balance beam, you could kind of feel the tension in the air as things started to wind down, but the atmosphere was wild and the Sooners were rock solid on that event. They were anchored, of course, by Chase Caps, who posted a huge 9.9375, which is no surprise. Her poise on that event is almost unmatchable, but it was really that final rotation on floor exercise where you could feel the Sooner magic in the air. You could tell by the girls' energy and performance. They knew that national title was within their grasp. And for me, the most magical moment after a whole lineup of beautiful routines was Haley Skaman taking the floor, pretty much knowing that they had the title. And it kind of just brought tears to your eyes to see her farewell tour. So it was a huge win for the Sooners and a night to remember.
That was a great moment for Haley. Now, the men's team won by a landslide over this weekend with their national championship. Annie, like you said, no surprise. Like you said, Annie, they beat their opponents by a 10-point margin. And the team also received several individual titles as well, starting with freshman Yul Mulder, who won the NCAA all-around title, and Colin Van Wicklen won the NCAA title for floor. Now, total, the Sooners won 7 of the 16 All-American honors. They have the highest team score on 4 of the 6 events, and this is the 10th national championship for the OU men's gymnastics, and the second one in a row. After an incredible undefeated season, it is no surprise to Sooner fans that this team came out and went back-to-back. Congratulations to the men and the women for a fantastic weekend all around for gymnastics.
Yes. Thanks, guys. Well, softball also had a huge weekend, sweeping the Longhorns, and one of several that helped lead the way was Erin Miller, and she sat down with Clark Sachs in this week's edition of Clark's Corner.
Thanks, Annie. Erin, it was a big day. We're going to go and skip to the most important, the second game of the doubleheader on Friday. It was Erin Miller Day here at the park, and you end up getting the 2-run walk-off homer. I mean, that's got to be special, especially in a rivalry game.
Oh yeah, it's something I'll never forget. It was a storybook, especially my senior day. My whole family was here, a lot of my friends, so I'm glad I could do that for my team, and more importantly for the people that have supported me the past 4 years.
After a sweep at Baylor, and then of course what every Sooner fan loves to hear, you got a sweep here at home against Texas. right now you're in the driver's seat for the Big 12. How does that feel going down the stretch?
Feels great. I think even for the bigger picture, of course we want to win the Big 12, but it sets us up in a great position for postseason. Ultimately, we want to win a national title, so I'm happy with where we are. I think we got a big week ahead, so if we can take care of business, I think we're going to be in a good position.
A little bit of a long road streak coming up. You guys have Tulsa coming up tomorrow, and then you guys even go to Tennessee for the Tennessee Classic. What do you guys need to do to really build on this momentum and then get back into Big 12 play?
I think it's just, staying the course, trusting the work that we've been putting in. The game plans that we've developed have really been successful for us, so I think we just need to stay the course and just stick to what we've been doing.
What's it like for you coming down the stretch in your senior year? Every game's got to be that much more meaningful to you.
Oh, it is. It's starting to kind of hit my heart a little bit harder, and I don't want it to end, but I'm having so much fun, and this team is just a blast, and we're doing well right now, so I'm enjoying it.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Annie, back to you.
Thanks, Clark. Well, don't go anywhere because coming up next is Face Off. Courtney and Blakely will name their gymnastics MVP. We're back right after this. Welcome back to Sooner Sports Pad. It's time for Face Off. Courtney and Blakely, you ready for your first question?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Well, as we mentioned earlier, both the gymnastics teams stuck a perfect landing this weekend. But who was the MVP?
All right, well, the freshman phenom Yul Mulder was unstoppable. I know I talked about him a little bit earlier. I'm putting you on the spot, Yul, but he won the highest individual title there is, NCAA all-around, as a freshman. He's only one of 8 gymnasts at OU to do so, and he's the first one since 2002. He had an overall score of 89.1, and he killed it on all of his events. He won All-American honors in the parallel bars and floor, and he's just really great, and I'm excited that he's only a freshman because as this guy grows, there's only more to come from him. So congratulations, Joel. Great job.
His future at OU. Well, my MVP for the week is none other than Chase Capps, who, in my opinion, embodies the OU gymnastics legacy. She posted huge numbers all weekend long in the all-around competition and the team competition, as well as all season long for that matter. During the team competition, she posted a 9.8125 on vault, a 9.925 on bars, a 9.9375 on beam, and a 9.9125 on floor. All 4 of her team scores did count in the team total. And she's driven, she's dedicated, she loves the sport of gymnastics and the OU program, and I feel like she's a huge reason why the Sooners are national champions due to her performance, so that's why she is my MVP for the week.
All right, thanks, guys. And I'm here with Kennedy Biggs, who is a competitive gymnast at Fliptastic Gymnastics, and she has an audience question.
Besides gymnastics, which Sooner sports team had the best weekend?
All right, well, men's tennis swept Baylor for their 4th shutout of the year. The weekend started out great when the Sooners beat the Bears 4-0 in their 5th consecutive win over Baylor. And Axel Alvarez and Andrew Harris took their doubles match, and Harris went on to win his singles match. And Alex Gillia and Spencer Papa also won both their doubles and singles matches. Now, the men lost yesterday, unfortunately, but it was still a great weekend, and I'm really hoping they can keep the momentum from that sweep up and just continue on with a great rest of the season.
Well, beating Baylor is always a big deal because they are a Big 12 team. But you want to know who us Sooners dislike more than Baylor? Texas. Yeah, and the Sooners softball team had themselves some Bevo burgers this weekend as they swept the Longhorns in all 3 games of their series. The Sooners have now beat Texas 7 times in a row. That's the longest winning streak in the history of the series against the Longhorns. There also puts them 2.5 games ahead of Baylor for the Big 12 title. So hopefully they can keep that going. The Sooners have now won 9 games in a row, which ties their longest winning streak for this season, and I feel like they've really found their groove as the season starts to wind down, and I'm confident that they will do well in postseason play if they can keep this up.
Let's hope so. All right, thanks. And now let's see what caught our analysts' attention this week. What do you guys have for this week's viral video?
Okay, so my viral video is a little different, but it's one of my favorite videos I've ever seen, honestly, and it goes along perfectly with the theme of the show. So take a look, guys.
What's wrong with being confident? What's wrong with being, yeah.
just awesome. It gets me so pumped. So not only are the women national champions, but they also have the coolest intro video in OU sports. So
yeah, I've always wanted to, you know, paint myself and party in the black light and be famous for it. It's cool. So I can't top that, but I guess I have to talk about my video anyways. So the 8th NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race was yesterday in Bristol, Tennessee, and someone who knows a little bit about winning in Tennessee made an appearance. Peyton Manning threw the first touchdown pass at Bristol to broadcaster and driver Michael Waltrip. Take a look.
Some good sporting events going on here, and great to be here with Dale.
Well, you get to go see Daryl and Jeff later. That'd be fun. How about hitting me with this over the middle? I'm going to go down and out. Hold on.
I knew Michael wasn't going to. Oh, he did catch it.
Manning
I mean, obviously, gymnastics is my #1 love, but I like football and NASCAR too. So, hey, why not?
All right, guys, now it is time to pick a winner. So cheer the loudest for who you thought won. Was it Blakely? Thanks, guys.
I think I'm a little outnumbered this week, but that's okay. I got some.
Okay, was it Courtney? Courtney, you get extra points for your props, so you get the victory on this one.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thanks, little buddies.
All right, now it's time to talk to some of our new gymnastics national champions. Thanks, guys, and now we have two of our national champions here to speak with us live in studio. Guys, over to you.
All right, well, thank you both for joining us tonight, and congratulations, first and foremost. So after coming in 3rd last year, I know you guys had a little bit of fire within you, and how does it feel to get your goal and finally get that first place trophy?
I mean, it's ecstatic. This feeling is incredible. It's undescribable. We did win our freshman year, but to win it by ourselves this year, it's just all we could have ever dreamed for.
Yeah, it really is a dream come true. You know, we've worked really hard to try and get that title alone. Of course, it was special the first time, but doing it the second time was even better.
And kind of like you guys just mentioned, you did have to share your first national title, so getting to take that spot solo is a big deal. What do you think the difference was this season? I mean, what was driving the team?
I mean, our team chemistry this year was incredible. We're all super close. We're like a group of sisters, honestly. I don't think any team out in the country could beat our chemistry, and our drive in the gym after winning 3rd and after being tied for 1st has been unstoppable. So I think that made the difference.
I agree. We were a very close team this year. I think that getting 3rd did have a lot to do with it. We came in the gym every single day giving our all. So, you know, when you really put your heart and soul into it, you can really do some stuff.
Well, what was the celebration like for you guys yesterday coming back to Norman with the big trophy?
It was incredible. We got off the bus. We had a bunch of fans waiting for us, our faculty and residents from our freshman year and many others. So it was just an incredible celebration. And then we waited for the guys who also got back at the exact same time. So that was really cool.
Yeah, it's really nice having a lot of people come greet you when you're home. But I think it's really sweet how we have a loving community, you know, as Sooner family. So
yeah, well, y'all deserve it.
All right, well, thanks, ladies. And when we come back, we will get up close and personal with an OU tradition. Stay with us.
Special thanks to our cornerstone television partners, Chesapeake Energy, Riverwind Resort, Anheuser-Busch, OU Outreach, and OU Medicine.
Welcome back to Sooner Sports Pad. OU is a school built on many traditions, but as our producer Justin Strange shows us, the Roughnecks have been at the center of generating crowd enthusiasm for a very long time.
In December of 1915, at a varsity basketball game between Oklahoma University and Oklahoma A&M,
at OU's old gym, an elderly female spectator
referred to a group of rowdy former varsity football players
as a bunch of roughnecks. Later, an organization by that name formed.
The spelling changed to RUF/NEKS.
The Roughnecks, as they're known today.
We were established in 1915 as a spirit organization to foster school spirit, get people excited at the games, stay interactive. Most visibly at football games, they drive the Sooner Schooner. Just a lot of excitement, a lot of passion. Usually just trying to show support for all the OU athletic events.
As the nation's oldest all-male spirit group of its kind, many historical traditions have been created by the Roughnecks. Of them all, perhaps the oldest and most interesting tradition is the story behind the paddles.
Paddles came around in the early 20s, and of course, as most people assume, used for initiation. It was a different time back then.
Back in the day, whenever we were in the old stadium before it was renovated, the goalpost would have snakes that would hide in the goalpost and nest. And so originally it was used to scare the snakes for the football games. It kind of stuck around as a tradition, and then it was kind of more or less of a intimidation factor to opposing teams.
Then a little later on, the shotguns came around. First shotgun was actually a double barrel 12 gauge called Big Red. Over time, more and more guns came along. The schooner, that came around in 1964 was the first season. Then in 65, it was donated by Dr. Bartlett and his foundation. It's one thing that makes us, extremely unique across the country. Just really fortunate to be able to have driven the schooner. Really, really unbelievable. I mean, just now that I'm kind of past it, unreal. Like, it still blows my mind that, I was able to do something like that in front of 85,000 people and travel across the country, representing the university and the state.
None of these traditions, however, would have began if not for a rowdy group of college kids in 1915. This attitude has lasted over a century, but it hasn't continued without some trouble along the way.
Controversy has always surrounded the club and the organization. I mean, what you have to understand is they were an independent organization.
We weren't always under the athletic department as we are now, and we kind of more or less looked after ourselves. It made things a little more difficult on the university having to wrangle us in because, as we pride ourselves on, we are a rowdy, wild group of men.
So in 2007, it was kind of the last straw. The university finally said, okay, you're done being your own organization. You're going to be under athletics. You're going to have some administrative help. You're going to have people kind of watching over and making sure things don't get out of hand.
Since we've been brought back to the university in 2008, things have been fabulous, better than ever. The university loves us. But a lot of people don't see us off the field. We take great pride in community service, doing different volunteer activities, everything from helping out at elementary schools where we read to little kids, help build playgrounds. We helped rebuild more after the Moore tornado came through.
When you're able to be mentors to children, you're able to be role models. I think that's probably the best way to give back.
From a group of crazy college kids to a nationally known staple of a university, the Roughnecks have cemented their names as one of the most historical university spirit squads in all of the nation, and definitely the rowdiest. Justin Strain, Sooner Sports Pad.
Thanks, Justin. Now let's send it over to men's national champions, Kanji Oyama and Yul Moldauer.
All right, thank you guys for joining us. Question, just both of you guys, I mean, this is a team that's been undefeated back-to-back and won national championships back-to-back, a team that will obviously go down in OU history for men's gymnastics. What does that feel like to be a part of that?
Feels awesome, to be honest. Just, having those group of guys just behind you, supporting us, just like a group of guys that nothing can break us, it's awesome being with them. It's an amazing feeling. Yeah, pretty much it.
Yeah, it's honestly like a blessing. Knowing that last year's team was a dream team, and then coming in here knowing that we can be another dream team, it's truly an honor. And hard work was in the gym, and I don't know, it's hard to describe, but it's so fun. So.
And you guys have 10 national titles now. You have the most national titles of any program on campus. Can you tell me what it is that makes the gymnastics program so special?
What makes it what?
So special.
I don't know, to be honest. I just feel like we work really hard for it, so I guess we earn it in a sense, but it feels great. it's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's the team, it's the guys. You go in here not knowing many people because it's guys from different states, but you really get to bond with them, and you get to train with them, and you get to bleed with them, and that's what's special.
Well, you guys are definitely very special. Now, Annie has an audience question for you.
I'm here with freshman Peyton Dugan, and he has a question for the guys.
Yeah, who do you consider to be the best dancer on the team?
Wow.
Josh.
I guess Joshua Yee. Sitting over there.
Thank you. All right, well, thanks, guys. Don't go anywhere because coming up next, we're playing Dynamic Duos. and Charity a series of questions, and they will have to try and guess the most fitting answer for Yule and Chase. Sorry, I forgot who was sitting in the chair. Okay, first question. What's your favorite event? Give them a second to answer. Beam for Chase. What you got?
For Yule?
Yeah, for Yule.
P-bars.
You guys are good.
There you go. Now show.
Nice.
Okay, both of them got it.
Yeah, okay.
My bad.
Okay, this one's kind of a fun one. Who is most likely to trip and fall on the national championship podium? Yule could be one of them. Mackenzie Wofford, Miley, or Peter?
Mackenzie Wofford.
Okay. What do you think?
Peter.
Okay,
Let's see him.
Yeah.
Nice.
I could have gotten that one.
Okay, last question, guys. Here we go. If you could eat anything for a full year, what would it be? Potatoes, pizza, fruit, or salad?
Wow.
Fruit? Pizza.
Oh.
Dude.
I'm
not that fat.
Say that. Hey, you guys were good enough. That is all the time we have for this week. Thank you so much for joining us.